Hello! Today we're going to be working on my airplane. This Cessna has been a lot of fun to fly. I like it and everything except for one thing, and that's the front landing gear. This is the second set of landing gear I've had to put on it. They turn sideways and get busted off. And no, I'm not the best pilot in the world. You can watch my other video. But there is an issue with this particular plane. This is a Skylane, what is it, 182 or whatever. But anyway, the problem with this is that, it's got a little bit of suspension here. See that movement? And what happens is, once it starts to turn a little, watch this connecting rod. You see when you turn, that moves? Let's get a little detail in there. You see the movement there? Now what if it turns this way? Bam! Look at the wheel. You see what that's doing there? So because it has so much range of motion side to side, this flips around, and of course this is the side that's all scraped up because it does that. And it'll do that on the first bounce. The first bounce is like pink. Second bounce, bam, and then your prop's into the ground. And you have to go to the hobby store and get a new prop. So what I'm going to do to correct this, also mounted the receiver down in there in such a way that the antennas, when you do the antennas on these things, you need one going straight out sideways and you need the other one going forward like that. So I taped them down into place because every time I open the canopy, or not canopy, I'm used to helicopters, I open the fuselage bottom access and my battery will be moving it around, or the wind from the prop that goes through for cooling, it'll flop them around. So this way you get the best reception out of a cheap little AR, what is that, an AR 6110E, which is what I like to use on these little park flyers. So anyway, I'm going to build something and glue it onto this. You can see I've got a little structure here. And I'm going to hold that in place. When I hold it with my fingers and move that, it works beautifully well. So this will help this to be up and running again. It's been sitting on my ceiling doing nothing for about a year now because I'm afraid to fly it, because every time I fly it, it flips the wheel around sideways. I break the landing gear. I thought I bested the motor. It turns out the prop was damaged and that was causing the loss of power. But anyway, I'm excited to fly this thing. It's a fun little plane. And if that doesn't work with those landing gear, I'm going to put floats on it and make it a float plane. But that's a little more high maintenance because there's not as many places I can fly it. So you have to have water. And I live in the desert. So anyway, I thought that'd be a fun video. If you have one of these planes, I would, before flying it, secure this so that it can't move anywhere. Because otherwise, bam, you're going to get jacked. Try landing a plane with the landing gear turned around. It's not like the real world where it burns the rubber off and burns all the metal and you have a ridiculously wrong runway. No, with RC stuff, your runway, like you have a short runway and you can't see what you can't fly, and if it's clear down the runway, forget it. You're not going to get a good landing. You have to be able to land it good in front of you on a short takeoff and landing kind of thing. So anyway, hope you like my video. Cheers. So I use a thin blade like this on my cutoff tool, and a little scrap thing that I've been making motor mounts and things with, for RC. And I cut out a little piece that's a triangle and another one like that, and I'll show you what I got. See, I notched the one piece both ways, and I also drilled a little hole for the push rod. But you put the triangle piece in the notch and then put the main holder piece, so you make it so it goes down into where the rod is so that it sits below flush. And there's my little thing. And then by turning it on an angle, it causes it, put it on in place, straight, and then turn it at an angle. And when you turn it at an angle with the hole that I drilled, it makes it so that the rod can't come back up out of there. So it's a nice tight fit and it works great. Really excited. I'm going to have my plane again. Awesome.